Ethan stood outside the gym door for a long moment. He checked his reflection in the glass. Nothing impressive. Just a plain t-shirt, cheap sneakers, and a second-hand gym bag. He took a breath, then stepped in. The air inside was loud. Music thumped. Weights clanged. People moved like they knew what they were doing. Confident. Sharp. Focused. Ethan, on the other hand, looked unsure. Skinny. Pale. Quiet. He passed a group of guys at the bench press. They glanced at him. One smirked. Another leaned in and whispered, "New guy won't last a week." Ethan heard it, but said nothing. He headed to the far corner. Opened his notebook. Inside were handwritten workouts. Simple routines. Notes on form. He started with light warm-ups. Controlled movements. No ego. A few people chuckled when he tried push-ups. His arms shook. He kept going. Day 2. He came back. Day 3. Again. He followed the same routine. Warm up, stretch, lift light, write notes. His weights were small. His pace was slow. But he was focused. Others noticed, but not in a kind way. One guy took a video of Ethan doing lunges with just the bar. He added a laughing emoji and posted it online. The caption read, "Future Mr. Olympia." More laughs. More whispers. One girl asked her friend, "Why does he always write in that notebook?" Another replied, "Maybe he's writing down how not to lift." Still, Ethan didn't respond. He never spoke to anyone. He stayed in his corner, did his work, and left. He didn't come to impress. He came to improve. Months passed. Seasons changed. Ethan was still there. He never missed a day. Not when it rained. Not when he was sore. He showed up. Every time. Slowly, things began to change. The barbell was no longer just the bar. It now had weights. Then more weights. Then even more. His form. Perfect. His breathing. Controlled. His focus. Unshakable. While others posed in the mirror, Ethan studied lifting videos between sets. He wrote down what he learned. He tracked every rep, every failure, every step forward. One of the older trainers started watching him. He noticed Ethan's discipline, his posture, his progress. One day, the trainer walked over, said, "Need a spot?" Ethan nodded. No words, just a small smile. From that day, the trainer helped him refine his lifts. Nothing flashy, just adjustments. Grip, stance, breathing. By now, even some of the regulars had stopped laughing. They weren't cheering, but they weren't mocking either. They were watching. The gym announced an informal lifting challenge. Deadlift, squat, bench. Just for fun. No prizes. Just bragging rights. The regulars signed up quickly. Confident. Competitive. No one expected Ethan to join. But he walked up to the sign-up sheet and wrote his name. No words. Just a pen stroke. A couple of people noticed. One guy laughed. "He's serious?" Another replied, "Guess he wants a good laugh." The day of the challenge came. The gym was packed. Everyone watching. Music louder than usual. Ethan stood alone in the corner, stretching slowly. Come. He watched the others lift. Big numbers. Big cheers. Then, it was his turn. He stepped up to the bar. Silence. Then a few laughs. He gripped the metal. Took a breath. He pulled. The bar rose. Slowly. Smoothly. The plates clinked as they left the ground. His back was straight. His face was calm. His grip, unshaken. He locked it out. He had lifted more weight than anyone else that day. For a moment, no one spoke. Just the sound of the bar hitting the floor. Then, a single clap. Then another. Then a wave of applause. Even the ones who laughed before, clapping. The guy who filmed him weeks ago just stood there, mouth open. One of the loudest critics walked up. He didn't know what to say. He just reached out his hand. Ethan shook it. No smile. No ego. Just quiet respect. From that day forward, everything changed. People greeted him, gave him space, watched him train. Some even asked for tips. But Ethan didn't talk much. He still trained alone, still wrote in his notebook, still stayed humble. He wasn't lifting for attention. He was lifting for something else. What no one saw was what happened before the gym. A year ago, Ethan was recovering from surgery. A bad injury. A fall that crushed his confidence. He couldn't walk without pain. He couldn't run. Couldn't even lift a bag. Doctors said recovery would be slow, maybe incomplete. Depression hit hard. He stayed in his room for months. Until one night, he saw a video of a man lifting again after injury. That night, Ethan picked up a notebook. He wrote, "I will get stronger. I will not stop. No matter how slow." The gym was never about showing off. It was about taking his life back. The laughter didn't matter. The whispers didn't matter. All that mattered was progress. 6 months later, Ethan was still coming in. Stronger than ever. He still trained alone. Still quiet. Still focused. One day, a new guy walked in. Young. Nervous. Carrying a small backpack and wearing a loose shirt. He looked around, unsure. A few people smirked. Some whispered. The same way they once did with Ethan. Ethan saw him. Watched him struggle to find a starting point. He didn't laugh. He walked over. Offered a hand. "Need a spot?" he asked. The new guy nodded, eyes wide. And just like that, the cycle changed. Because someone who was once laughed at was now the one lifting others up.